If we try to make it all perfect from the start, we're gonna be too much in the perfection mind state, and we're probably gonna be setting ourselves up for failure later on. Alright, so today we're going to be working on a portrait, and that means that first things first is start sketching the rough dimensions of the face, nothing too exact, just get away from the blank canvas so we can start laying down some paint as soon as possible. And the faster we have some paint on the canvas, the faster we can start to play around and have fun with it, Also, I recommend that whatever you lay down is in the mid-tone range. Just look at what you're painting or or the subject, and try to figure out what the dominant color for each area is, and set down a mid value for each zone, so that we can later on just play around with lights and darks a bit more, or maybe saturate the color here and there a bit more, whilst having whatever we do be influenced by the color that we set down first. That'll give a more coherent feel to the portrait, or really any painting, but in this case the portrait. We don't want the skin tones in one area to suddenly be way different from another area. Same with the hair, same with anything really of the portrait. If it has clothes on, we don't want one area to look very different, unless of course you have another light source, but that's not the point here. So just try to start with mid-tones so that we can work towards light and dark later on. Once that's finished, we can start to go back and add a little bit more light or dark here and there, and start detailing a bit, maybe outline a bit more of the eyes, or try to set down what our really or our darkest areas are going to be, just so we can have that extreme before we take off to the light. Though of course, if you can stay a bit before that darkest dark, but it'll be better, so you could have a bit of wiggle room, and maybe if you decide later on to have something even darker, you have that option. So for now, I just focus on starting to detail something loosely. Of course, it's still we're still not at the point where we want to start detailing too much. It's just something rough, but a bit more detailed. We wanna start with something really rough and start to work our way slowly towards finer details. And why we do this is mainly because it'll give us a bit more room if we make a mistake, or if we decide to maybe change here and there. Those more playful brush strokes, those perceived errors maybe, will help us have some context in the area that we wish to change. If we try to make it all perfect from the start, we're gonna be too much in the perfection mind state, and we're probably gonna be setting ourselves up for failure later on. We're gonna be hesitant to change it because we spend so much time on something from the beginning. So no, just focus on something loose, something rough. Even though we're detailing, I don't mean that in the extreme sense of it. It's just something loosely detailed, so we can change it later on if we so choose to. I guess what I'm saying is just be a bit more free with your brush strokes. Don't be so afraid to lay down some paint here and there. maybe use the paint a certain way. Just free yourself from the worries of it having to look exactly like the person, and worry about the likeness later. And as you can see, by this point I'm already adding a bit more chroma, some brighter colors, something that'll capture a bit more attention, just some blues in the hair, some oranges, some reddish colors here and there. Just play around just to see if I like those areas to be more lively. Now, if I'm going to be working with reds and oranges and blues, I have to get some purples in there. Usually I try to do that. Just to whilst I go, I like to maintain a bit of a equilibrium with the colors. So I'll use some complementary or something of the sort, just so that I don't gravitate towards something too extreme, and stay more in the middle lane. And that'll give me also later on time to play more. As for the background, if we have predominantly cold colors or cold tones, we want to have it warm. So here I'm using a lot of yellow. It's not a pure yellow, it's more of a Naples with cadmium, something in between those two, so that it's not too bright of a yellow. The Naples yellow is gonna bring the other yellow down a bit and have it be more serious in tone. That also means it's not gonna be too aggressive on the eyes. It's gonna be more tame, and that also translates to a better play, a better perception. And of course, that also means that we have those warm colors in the background or around the figure. We want to get some warmer colors on the figure itself, be it on the hair, on the face, on the beard, obviously if on the torso, whatever is on there. We just want to have it be more coherent, have it feel more like it belongs in that space. So don't forget that whatever you do in the background or around your figures, you want to have some of those colors, though of course toned down, more tame, onto the figure itself, so that it doesn't look too alien in the background, or in that space. Now, by this point, the portrait's pretty much done, but I am gonna be playing around a bit. I'm gonna be adding some braids, and hopefully you can identify who the person in question here is being portrayed. Of course, I'm gonna tell you right out, it's Jack Black. And I'm gonna give him a braid mainly because of the Britney Spears cover that he's been singing lately. Let's see how it looks. It's gonna play around a bit with the portrait. Nothing too serious. Just try to stay more lighthearted as you paint along. Just now, I do it because if I can have fun with it, that'll just motivate me to paint even more. It becomes boring if I just have to copy something as is. That's also why I don't recommend anyone to just paint a portrait with the exact likeness. Just try to have fun with it, even if you're trying to get the person to look a lot alike. Just leave yourself some room for error. Just leave yourself some room so that you can just play around, and the outcome's gonna be better that way. It's gonna be more you in the painting. You're not a copy machine. You're not a camera either. So just paint a bit more. Just have fun with it.
Oh, baby, baby, how was I supposed to know